Now we are shifting our focus now to Nepal, that has seen one of the worst violent protest in recent times. The Gen Z call it revolution. But the breaking news is, finally, former Chief Justice Sushila Karki will be the interim Prime Minister of Nepal, and the swearing in is likely in just an hour from now. 8:45 India time. The parliament is all set to be dissolved by the president. The president of Nepal informed major political party stakeholders that he couldn't withstand mounting public pressure anymore, particularly after threats to surround Sheetal Nivas, and decided to dissolve both houses of the parliament while deciding on Sushila Karki's appointment as interim prime minister. While an almost final consensus Karki was reached earlier, the sticking point was whether the parliament should be dissolved first or not. President Paudel, after consulting political parties, is reportedly reluctant to pursue the path of resolution, whereas Chief of Army Staff Ashok Raj Sidgal and Karki maintain that an interim government should only proceed after this step. Sushila Karki has reportedly committed to leading the interim government for 6 months and holding elections afterward. While the president agrees with holding elections, he disagrees with proceeding through parliamentary dissolution. And there is another issue. What happens to the other Gen Z demand? This is one breaking news, but let me just read the other. Leaders from Nepali Congress, CPN, UML, Maoist Center and the Unified Socialists have been holding discussions to manage the transition. There is a pressure within these parties. And there is a pressure that KP Sharma Oli, Sher Bahadur Deuba, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Prachand, Madhav Kumar Nepal, Jalanath Khanal and Dr. Baburam Bhattarai should step aside to pave way for the new leadership. Preparations are reportedly underway to have all 6 issue a joint statement announcing their retirement from active politics. I will not go into details now. I will introduce my guests. I am joined by an authority on Nepal, S.D. Muni, author, Professor Emeritus, School of International Studies. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. I am also joined by Dr. Pramod Jaiswal, Research Director, Nepal Institute for International Cooperation and Engagement. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me directly from Kathmandu. And I am also joined by Sachin Timulsina, a very erudite youth leader from Nepali Congress Party who had been part of my show earlier. Thank you all of you. But let me straight away start with this breaking news. Dr. Pramod Jaiswal, first to you. You are in Kathmandu. How did this development take place? 8:45 and Nepal will have a new caretaker.
Yes, I mean, it's in a dramatic situation. Things has finally ended there. Like after the protest, like the student had been demanding that they want an interim government under Sushila Karki, and second was that they wanted the house to be dissolved before they announced a new government, and finally we have ended up there. So I think it's a great victory for Gen Z, but it also brings lots of challenges for the new leadership. On the one hand, the government might be very powerful, where they will not have old heads who can anytime interfere, bring the different tools to come back to power or intervene. That will disappear. But at the same time, they might also create a power vacuum if they're not able to deliver. So I think it's a victory for Gen Z because they got what they wanted finally.
Okay. Okay. Let me take opening comments from the young person here. Sachin, to you, how did this come about? Because at least there is some sort of surety that something is going to happen at 8:45 India time.
Well, now it looks like a dream, really, in the 5 days and how volatile Nepal's politics has been. So I thought we were much better than that. But anyways, I mean, what has happened is there was massive dissatisfaction. Our leaders failed to understand that, especially being from a political party that is in the political establishment. I think we have to take our fair share of blame. And as our General Secretary Gagan Thapa has already apologized to everybody for his role or the party's role in whatever has happened in the past 20 years, despite our all efforts to make sure that reforms came. It didn't come. There was anger. It folded out in a violent manner. It was complete mismanagement from the former Home Minister and the government. and the anger of Gen Z that came out, it burnt half the city. We actually do not know how to build this infrastructure. I hope the new government is able to do it, because the amount of money that's needed to build all these structures, it's incredible. But anyways, first thing first, I think what was needed in Nepal was a riddance of this political vacuum. We finally had it. Sushila Karki, she's known for her acumen. She is known for being strong and being honest. I personally, I have some reservations with this move, and I actually do not know where the constitution is heading towards. But I mean, Gen Z's protests deserve their demands to be fulfilled. It has been fulfilled. I hope the election is done in proper time.
Okay. Professor Muni, the broader picture that is emerging from Nepal, that's my first question to you with this decision, sir. And second, what will happen to the senior leaders, sir? The people who kept on rotating in last 15 years, sir?
Well, I think the first thing is for the past few days, the Nepali politics was polarized along three axes. One is, of course, the royalist. Second, you can call the Gen Z, or first is Gen Z, which wanted a change, but change within the democratic system, democratic structure, republican structure. And the third is the old guard, which wanted to have some minor changes within the existing constitution and parliament. I think out of the three, two did not want monarchy to come back, royalists to take the lead. Therefore, the real negotiations and compromises have been between the old guard and the Gen Z. And I think what appears now is that both have accommodated each other. Like there is a new leadership now. The old leadership at the moment is not on the front. Secondly, as I get from your report, the parliament is to be dissolved before the prime minister takes oath, and this is where Gen Z's demand has been accommodated. And the third, which you are saying, if that comes about, of all the six former prime ministers to promise that they will not remain in politics, is again meeting the Gen Z's demand that the old leadership should not be there. But they have accepted because they had their own two other, Mr. Gising and the Dharan mayor. They wanted other, Barendra Shah had himself declined, so he was not in the picture. So there is a mutual accommodation. And much of the stability in future and functioning of the interim government will depend upon what kind of cooperation it gets from the old bureaucracy and the army, as also the old parties, that they don't protest, they don't come out on the street to disturb the process of holding free and fair elections.